I want you to close your eyes for just a second and picture Monday morning. You sit down with your coffee, you open your laptop, and before you've taken a single sip, there it is, your inbox. And it's full. Not full of things that need your attention necessarily, just full. A wall of unread messages, bold and demanding, sitting there like a massive to-do list. Email overload. For me, that feeling used to hit before I'd even clicked a single email. Just seeing the number, that little badge on the app icon, was enough to make my chest tighten. On a Monday, after a weekend. We're talking over 100 unread emails before I'd done a single thing. And here's the ridiculous part. Most of them didn't require anything from me at all. They were just automated notifications, system messages, digital proof that a process ran overnight. I didn't need to read them. I didn't need to take an action on them. I just needed to know that they ran, that they existed. But there they sat in my inbox, adding to my anxiety that so many of us carry into our workday. There's a reason we all dread Mondays, and part of that is emails. Maybe you don't have that many emails on Monday morning. Maybe you have even more. But if that sense of dread and anxiety sounds familiar, then this video is for you. Before I tell you what I did about it, I want to talk about something we don't talk about enough. The emotional weight of email, or email stress. Not the time it takes, not the productivity drain, the actual physical emotional weight of opening your inbox and feeling like you're already behind. Researchers have actually studied this. A University of British Columbia study ran 124 adults through a 2-week experiment. 1 week checking email freely throughout the whole day, 1 week limiting the checks to just 3 times a day. The people who checked less frequently experienced significantly lower stress. Not a little lower, significantly lower. And those effects showed up across a whole range of well-being measures. Then there's a UC Irvine study that went even further. Researchers had workers wear actual heart rate monitors to measure stress in their body and then cut off their email access for an entire work week. The workers without email switched between tasks less often, stayed focused longer, and showed measurably lower stress. The researchers didn't just ask them to self-report how they felt, which is subjective. They recorded their actual physiological response. Their bodies were in fact calmer. That detail matters because we're very good at telling ourselves we're fine. Our hearts apparently know better. Source citations for both of these studies are in the description if you want more detailed information. Okay, so let's think about what email actually is at its core. It's an open invitation for other people's priorities to land in your space. Anytime, day or night, weekend or weekday, holiday or not. And for a lot of us, especially women who are already managing 100 things, the inbox becomes one more place where we feel like we can't keep up. And the cruel irony is that a lot of what's in that inbox isn't even really for us. It's noise, automated messages, system notifications, reply alls that we were CC'd on, newsletters we barely remember signing up for, things that look like they need attention but don't. Our brains don't know that though. Our brains see unread, that bold number telling us how many emails we have yet to handle, and they respond every single time. So today I want to talk about what happened when I finally decided to do something about it. Not with a complicated email management system or a productivity method I'd have to maintain forever. Just with a conversation. One conversation with AI. Here's the situation I was dealing with. Every single workday, I receive 6 email notifications confirming that certain scheduled processes ran successfully overnight. 6. Every day. That's 30 a week, over 120 a month. Now, I do need those emails to exist. If one doesn't arrive, it means a process failed and I need to follow up on that. So they're not junk. I couldn't just use an email rule to move them to a folder and forget about them. They served a purpose. But that purpose is basically show up so I know everything is fine. That's it. I don't read them. I don't reply to them. I just need to know that they are there. And yet, every single morning, there they were, sitting in my inbox, making everything look more urgent and more overwhelming than it actually was. And on Monday mornings after a weekend, 18 of them. 18. I knew exactly what they were and that it would only take me a second or two to take a quick look and move them to a folder or delete them. And yet they were contributing to that stockpile of emails, causing a spike of anxiety in me every time I looked at my inbox. Now, something you should know about me, I make videos about using AI to solve problems like this. I actually told you all in my last video to use AI to help automate the small frustrations in your life, to stop tolerating the stuff that quietly drains you. And then the next day, I woke up and still moved those emails manually. I know. Yes, I was giving advice that I was not taking. We'll call it a moment of humbling self-awareness. So this past Friday, my slowest day of the week, I finally decided it was enough. I was going to take my own advice. I opened Microsoft Copilot, which is the AI assistant that's built into Microsoft 365, the suite that includes Outlook and Teams, and I just talked to it. Like I was explaining the problem to a patient, knowledgeable coworker. I said something like, I get 6 automated emails every day from a system process. I need them to arrive, and if they don't, something went wrong and I need to know. But I don't want them sitting in my inbox. Is there a way to automatically move them to a different folder and still alert me if they don't show up? That was it. That's the whole prompt. And Copilot suggested I use Power Automate workflows and explained why this was a good solution. I want to be clear about something. I'm actually a programmer by day. But Power Automate workflows, I had never used them before. That particular tool was completely new territory for me, and I had no idea where to even start. As it turns out, I didn't need to know, because I know how to have a conversation, and that was enough. It walked me through the setup of a workflow, step by step, not assuming I knew what Power Automate was, not using jargon I had to Google. Just, here's what you're going to do. Here's how to find the thing. Here's what to click. I want to pause on this for just a second because I think it really matters. The part that stops a lot of people from tackling something like this isn't a lack of desire to have it done. It's not knowing how to get it done, or a feeling of self-consciousness or embarrassment about not knowing how to do it. Maybe you don't want to ask a coworker. Maybe you're afraid that you'll waste their time or that they'll think that you're asking too many questions and annoy them. For me, the fact that I am a programmer is a factor. Somehow admitting that I didn't know how to use this application made me feel like a failure. There are a lot of barriers here, but the good news is AI can be the roadmap to coach you through every step. Copilot removed all of that friction for me. It was like having a very calm, very patient expert sitting next to me who had absolutely no judgment about the fact that I didn't know what I was doing, or that I had a bunch of questions, or even that I did some things wrong and had to redo them. And here's what I found interesting about the solution it gave me. It wasn't just move these emails to a folder, because I thought of that obviously. The problem with this is that I couldn't just move them and forget about them. I needed to know if one of those emails didn't show up. And if that process didn't run, I needed to catch that and handle it. So Copilot helped me set up something smarter. The emails go automatically into a separate folder out of my inbox, out of my eyeline, out of my anxiety. But it also helped me set up an alert that notifies me via Teams if the emails don't arrive by a certain time each day. So I get the best of both worlds. the visual quiet of an uncluttered inbox, and more importantly, the assurance that I'll be notified if something actually needs my attention. That second part, the exception alert, is the part I couldn't have built on my own. AI patiently directed me through the whole process, and that's the part that makes the whole thing actually work in much less time than it would have taken me on my own. And it came from just describing my situation honestly to an AI and letting it think alongside me. Before we talk about what happened Monday morning, if you're finding this video helpful, hit the subscribe button. I post new videos every week about using AI to tackle common midlife struggles and creating a more serene life for ourselves. Okay, so here's what changed and why it matters more than you think. On Monday, I opened my inbox and those 18 emails were not there. They were in their folder, they'd arrived, everything had run, and I didn't need to do anything. And I just sat there for a moment and took a deep breath. And then I jumped in and evaluated every other email in my inbox. I unsubscribed from newsletters. I set up rules. And I took all the other system notifications like these ones and created Power Automate workflows for them. The blinders were finally off and I got real about my inbox. So Tuesday morning, my inbox looked completely different. For the first time in a very long time, I didn't have to scroll to see all my emails. You know what I mean. It looked like a place where only things that needed me were waiting. Not system noise, not automated clutter, just actual relevant communication. I know that might sound small. I know some of you are thinking it's just email. It only takes a few seconds to move it. But I want to push back on that, gently of course. The way our environments look and feel has a real impact on how we feel in our bodies. A cluttered desk makes most people feel more scattered. A pile of laundry in the corner of your bedroom quietly nags at you even when you're not looking at it. And an inbox full of noise, even harmless noise, creates low-grade stress that accumulates every single day. We have normalized this. We've accepted it as just part of life, but we don't have to. That Monday morning with 18 emails, it's gone. That little heart squeeze when I saw the number on the icon showing how many unread emails I had waiting, gone. The 5 minutes of sorting and moving and checking that I was doing every single day, 30 minutes a week, 2 hours a month, gone. But more than the time, what I got back was something harder to quantify. I got back the sense that my inbox is mine, that it works for me, that I'm in control of what lands in my attention and what doesn't. That feeling for me was worth more than any productivity tip I've ever followed. Now, I want to talk about something broader for a minute, because I think the email experience is really just an example of a larger truth. A lot of us, especially women who didn't grow up with technology as a constant presence, who came to it later, who maybe feel like everyone else got a manual that they never received, carry this quiet belief that technology is not really for us, that automation is for engineers, that AI is for people who understand code, that the complicated stuff is someone else's territory. I want to challenge that belief directly. What I used to solve my email problem was not coding knowledge. It was not technical expertise. It was the ability to describe a problem in plain language, to say, here's the situation I have. Here's what I need. Here is the outcome I'm hoping for. That's it. AI at its best is a patient guide. It meets you where you are. It doesn't get frustrated when you have a follow-up question. It doesn't make you feel silly for not knowing the right terminology. It just helps you move forward. And that guide is available to you right now. Not someday when you've learned more, not after you've taken a course. Right now, with the vocabulary you already have. The question isn't whether you're tech savvy enough to use AI. The question is, what is quietly draining you every day that you've just accepted as part of life? What's the thing you do every morning on autopilot that you wish you didn't have to do? What's the task that doesn't take long, but somehow takes something from you every single time you have to do it? That thing, whatever it is for you, is worth a conversation with AI. You don't need to know how it works. You don't need to understand the technology behind it. You just need to describe the problem, the same way you'd explain it to a trusted friend who happens to know a lot more about these things than you do. What is the one email or the one daily task that you wish would just take care of itself? I want you to leave it in the comments below, not because I'm going to wave a magic wand and fix it for you, though we might make a video about it, but because I think naming these things matters. I think saying it out loud, "This drives me crazy and I'm tired of dealing with it," is actually the first step towards doing something about it. Serenity, the kind of thing this channel is about, isn't just about big life changes. Sometimes it's 18 fewer emails on a Monday morning. Sometimes it's a Tuesday where your inbox looks manageable before you've finished your first cup of coffee. Sometimes it's the quiet confidence of knowing that the thing that used to nag you is now handled. Those small things add up, they matter, and you deserve to have them working for you. If this video helped you feel a little less alone with your inbox chaos, will you share it with someone else who needs it? A colleague, a friend, somebody in your life who's also quietly drowning in notification hell and pretending that it's just fine? Let them know they don't have to deal with it. I'll see you next week. Until then, protect your peace. It's worth it.